What is up, my brothers from another mother? Just finished up at the gym. I'm a little bit red from my workout in the sauna still, but I want to do this video for the younger gentlemen in their 20s. I get a lot of messages daily now from guys with all kinds of scenarios that, aren't able to book my time on Clarity. So they send me emails and messages and Facebooks and comments, and it's always a narrative like, my girlfriend thinks I'm needy and I'm doing this, and how do I deal with that? And she's hanging out with her ex-boyfriend still, and she's going clubbing, and it's one thing after the other. And I've made videos in the past on the types of women that you want to avoid dating, and I still maintain that it's important to pay attention to that. But more importantly, I'm going to go down the red pill road and offer you an alternative view on dealing with women in your 20s. And parents that are watching this, moms and dads, feel free to share this with your sons. But there's far too many guys that put far too much focus, in fact, on building out a LTR, building out a long-term relationship in their 20s, which is something that really is not a very good idea, if I'm being pretty honest with you here. That your 20s shouldn't be spent trying to build out a longer term relationship with one woman. You need to figure out yourself. It's a proven fact that men don't usually emotionally mature until the very early 30s, like 30, 31, in and around there. So we don't have a good idea of who we are, what we want to do in life, what our passion truly is. We don't know how to listen to our intuition in our 20s. We make really bad choices. I've seen guys become plow horses because of bad choices in their 20s. And you might ask, well, Rich, what's a plow horse? Well, got a message the other day from a guy who is married. He's younger, he's married, he's got 2 young children. His wife's a social worker. She doesn't do anything in the house. He cooks, he cleans, he does the laundry, he does the dishes. He has a full-time job, makes more money than her. And she doesn't believe in disciplining the children because she's a social worker. So they run amok and act like assholes in her house. So he is completely miserable. She's a clacky moose. There's no sex happening. It's just a bad time for him. He doesn't even have time to do any kind of self-care. So he's in a miserable place. He's basically a plow horse. And you see, these plow horsed men who end up in shopping plazas, who are pushing around with buggies with 3 screaming children and a woman or a wife, screaming at him and calling him an idiot and insulting him publicly in front of other people. And he has this disheveled look of weakness, remorse, regret on his face. So guys, in your 20s, you need to figure out who you are and what you're all about. You need to focus on yourself, becoming a better version of yourself, becoming a stronger version of yourself. I realize that there's a lot of testosterone flowing through your blood and you want to hump everything that moves. I'm not saying don't date women. I'm just saying don't exclusively date a woman. I've mentioned the rational male before to you guys. In prior videos. I'll put a link below by Rollo Tomasi. There's an entire chapter, I think, dedicated to the concept of the plate spinning theory, I think is what it's called. And basically, you want to date in your 20s on an unattached basis. You're going to be careful. You're going to wear condoms. You're going to bring condoms with you and take them when you go, because women have done some freaky stuff. You need to take ownership for yourself. You can't, guys do some really dumb things. Like I've seen guys in their 20s, that subscribe to the whole, oh, it's okay, you can go inside me right now. It's not possible for me to get pregnant. And then boom, in their 20s, all of a sudden they've got a kid, and then that doesn't work out, and then they've split up because they were the wrong match anyway. So you need to take precautionary measures to just become a better version of yourself. And it's not selfish. It's just self-preservation. It's just a matter of taking care of your own needs. Because at the end of the day, you cannot serve anybody, that meaning children or even a spouse, a partner, properly if you're not the best version of yourself, if you're not a happy version of yourself, if you don't know how to listen to your intuition, if you haven't built a strong body and mind and developed good self-control. Self-control is so important. A lot of guys don't have a lot of self-control in their 20s, and it's probably one of the most important skills that you can develop as a man is the ability to control oneself, to not yield to pressures from the opposite sex because of sex hormones. I totally get it. It's tough to do, and I get a lot of guys fall into the trap of, oh, but the sex feels so good and I love her so much and da-da-da-da. And, there's just not a lot of people that have successfully found themselves or even discovered the right partner. And if I'm being honest, women in their 20s, they haven't got a clue either. You know, older guys can date, you know, women in their 20s. I've done it. And what I've learned for the most part is there's a hell of a lot of drama, and there's a lot of, they don't have a lot of self-awareness, and they often can behave a lot like children. You know, running around partying, becoming attention whores. You see them on social media platforms like Instagram, you know, soliciting the attention of the entire world with, you know, naughty poses all the time. It's, you know, it's like a competition of who can get the most hearts and comments and stuff like that. So fellas, I just want to encourage you to take a deep look in the mirror in your own eyes and understand that there's somebody looking back at you that matters more than anything else in the world. And really, until such time as you've figured out who you are, what you value, what your core value system is, developing self-control, self-awareness, and an ability to listen to your intuition and really tune into your intuition and honor it and surrender to it and follow it and do what it says. That's what I would spend my time doing, you know, emailing me and asking me about this particular problem you have with your girlfriend in your 20s. I can't respond to them. I just can't. I don't have time. I mean, if you want to book my time on Clarity, I'm happy to have a chat, but I have things to do in my day as well. And while I do love the growth of the channel and helping you guys become a better version of yourselves, there's also some rational sisters from another mister that have really, you know, subscribed to some of the stuff that I've talked about as well. I just want you guys to understand that there's so much more to life than a LTR, than a long-term relationship in your 20s, and I really don't think that you should spend much time pursuing one. I think that you should keep your options open. You should definitely date women to understand them, to go out with them, to develop relationships, but I would discourage you from putting too much focus on that. Don't make a woman the focus of your 20s. Make yourself the focus of your 20s. Make figuring out yourself the focus of your 20s. I hope that video shed some light on some things for you. It makes a little bit of sense. If you have any questions, you can leave a comment below. Of course, smash the like button. And if it's the first video you've seen, subscribe and browse the rest of the channel. There's tons of great content. Again, I'll link to The Rational Male in the description of the video below. There's probably a couple other books that I'll provide links to as well, which you'll definitely get some good value from. Guys, just work on yourself. Work on becoming a better version of yourself. If Mrs. Right shows up while you're doing that, that's great. But typically what happens once you've figured yourself out, you're going to, you know, it's the whole law of attraction thing. You know, you're just going to attract into your life like attracts like, you know, like, you know, steel sharpens steel, basically. Okay. So just work on yourself, guys. Anyway, have an amazing day. Talk to you guys later. Peace.